Welcome to Clarity Currents. I'm Danielle Laura, trusted seer and spiritual advisor. Each week, I share grounded energetic transmissions and insights into the week ahead so you know how to work with the energy rather than in resistance to it and are equipped to create aligned momentum across your business, relationships, health, wealth, spirituality, and legacy. This is Clarity Currents episode for the week of August 17th through the 23rd, 2026. Let's dive in. When I tune into the overall energetics of the week, I see a vision of someone walking across this old wooden bridge carrying several heavy suitcases. And about halfway across the bridge, one of the suitcases slips from their hands and falls into the river below. And at first they panic, but then they keep walking. And within moments, they realize how much lighter they suddenly feel. This week isn't about losing something. This week is about discovering how much unnecessary weight you've actually been carrying. Maybe you've been holding on to identities, expectations, relationships, habits, beliefs, or even responsibilities just because they're familiar. But this week invites us to ask, if I wasn't afraid of the unknown, would I still choose this? And then clarity arrives through release, not through forcing answers. There may be moments where emotions feel stronger than usual, where old memories surface unexpectedly, or even situations arise that make it impossible to ignore what's no longer aligned. The good news is you don't have to rush to solve everything. Allow yourself to just feel what's coming up. Your emotions aren't trying to sabotage you. They're actually revealing where your next level is waiting. This feels like a week where we can stop gripping so tightly to the old chapter and begin trusting that making space is actually creating room for something far greater. Business for the week of August 17th. When I tune into the energetics of business this week, I see someone cleaning out an office that's filled with filing cabinets. And most of the folders inside haven't been opened in years, but the message is quite simple. It's stop managing business built for versions of yourself that no longer exist. Where are you continuing to operate from old strategies simply because they've become routine? This could be old offers, clients, marketing, responsibilities. Which one of those, maybe multiple, have expired? I feel this tremendous momentum available once you remove unnecessary complexity. Less but better. It's cleaner and more aligned. I also hear the phrase implementation creates confidence. There may be ideas that you've been circling for weeks or months. This isn't the week to endlessly think about them. It's the week to test them. Action creates clarity. Feedback creates wisdom. The businesses that will expand this week won't necessarily be the ones with the perfect plan. They'll be the ones that are willing to move. Relationships for the week of August 17th. When I tune into the energetics of relationships this week, I see two people standing back to back. And neither one realizes that they're only inches apart because they're both looking in opposite directions. The message feels centered around perspective. Some conversations may become unavoidable this week. Some relationships may naturally deepen. Others may reveal where they've really run their course. Rather than asking, how do I make this relationship work? Ask, is this relationship supporting the person I'm becoming? There also may be opportunities to release old relationship stories that you've been carrying for years. Stories around worthiness, abandonment, people-pleasing, or feeling misunderstood. And these are not resurfacing because you've somehow failed in relationships, but they are resurfacing because you're finally ready to heal them. So offer yourself the same compassion that you would so naturally extend to everyone else. Health for the week of August 17th. When I tune into the energetics of health this week, I see a pressure valve slowly releasing steam. And it reminds me that our bodies are always communicating with us. Much of what surfaces physically this week feels directly connected to emotional processing. Your body may ask for some more rest or hydration, maybe some more quiet, more nourishment, less stimulation, less rushing, less forcing, so you get to honor those cues. There is tremendous healing available when you stop fighting what your body has been trying to tell you. I also feel this is an excellent week to simplify your wellness routine. So just simply ask yourself, what actually helps me feel like myself again? Then commit to that consistently instead of trying to chase perfection. wealth for the week of August 17th. When I tune into the energetics of wealth this week, I see someone emptying an overflowing closet. And initially, it looks like they're getting rid of valuable things. But as that clutter disappears, hidden treasures become visible that they didn't even realize they owned. Financially, this feels like a week of clearing unnecessary expenses, clearing scarcity stories, clearing outdated beliefs around what you're worth. I also sense that some opportunities may require releasing something familiar before something larger can arrive. But don't mistake temporary discomfort for lack. Sometimes abundance first looks like creating space. So trust what you're making room for. Spirituality for the week of August 17th. When I tune into the energetics of spirituality this week, I see a snake peacefully shedding its skin. There's no struggle. There's no resistance. There's just complete trust that what no longer fits is just meant to fall away. Spiritually, this feels like one of the biggest weeks of inner renewal that we've experienced in a while. Your intuition is becoming louder, your dreams may feel unusually vivid, and synchronicities may increase. So pay attention. I feel God continually asking us, will you trust me before you see the outcome? This week isn't about having every answer, but you do get to become someone who trusts yourself enough to walk before the entire path is visible. So spend some extra time in stillness because the guidance is already there. And legacy for the week of August 17th. When I tune into the energetics of legacy this week, I see a sculptor chiseling away at this massive block of marble. And with every piece that's removed, the masterpiece underneath becomes more visible. So notice something. The sculptor isn't adding anything. They're moving everything that isn't the masterpiece. And that's the invitation this week. What if your next chapter doesn't require becoming someone new? What if it simply requires removing everything that isn't authentically you? Your legacy isn't built through accumulation. It's revealed through your alignment. So continue making decisions that feel true, and not just because they're comfortable, but because they genuinely honor who you're becoming. Every release this week is creating the foundation for what comes next. There you have it, Hot Soul, your intuitive forecast for the week. Wishing you a week of courageous release, renewed clarity, and beautiful new beginnings. And that's what's moving collectively this week. But if you want to know exactly how this is landing in your chart, in your design, in the specific day you're walking into with the exact moves to actually make, that's exactly what I built Evolve AI for. Feel free to come join us and start your 7-day free trial at fullyevolve.ai. I'll see you there. Until next week.